It's narth.com. Lots of good stuff there. Our organization, North, did a study trying to see what the connection is between pathology and homosexuality. Pathology is defined as self-defeating, self-destructive, maladaptive behavior. That's a good definition of pathology. And we did a review of the literature. Any article that shows pathology correlated with homosexuality. I've been doing this work for 15, almost 20 years. I thought that we would come up with maybe 30 articles. We came up with 500 articles. Over 500 articles seeing homosexuality linked to pathology. Anything from cigarette smoking, gay men smoke more cigarettes than straight men. On and on and on. Cigarette smoking, group sex, more depression, more anxiety, more failed relationships, more suicide attempts. It goes on and on and on. How much of this is attributed to a homophobic society? Some of it. How much of it is attributed to the maladaptive nature of the homosexual condition? A lot of it. Detachment from other men, anticipation of rejection is the essential feature of the homosexual condition. Let's consider the failure of the male couple. There's so much talk today about gay marriages and trying to promote the idea that two men or two women are capable of having the quality of relationship as a man and a woman. But let's look at the literature. And there are many, many studies, but I'm going to take only one, which is Mattson and McWhirter. McWhirter and Mattson, 1984. And the reason why I choose them is because McWhirter and Mattson were gay researchers. So I like to use the literature of gay researchers. And they themselves were gay in a gay relationship. I think McWhirter was a gay psychiatrist and Mattson is a gay psychologist. And they were in a relationship for 12 years. And they were determined to prove that gay men were capable of maintaining long-term sexual fidelity. And they did a whole lot of research, and they came up with 165 of the very best gay relationships. And they spend the first 2 chapters just talking about how to find these people. And when they did the research, they found that many of these people were together for 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. But none of them, 0, were able to maintain sexual fidelity for more than 5 years. Even though they intended to, they were not capable of maintaining sexual monogamy in their relationship. Eventually, implicitly or explicitly, it became an acceptable part of the relationship to go out regularly and have sex with other people. In fact, Mattson and McWhirter counsel their gay readers, if you want your relationship to last, don't expect fidelity. If you expect fidelity, that'll be the end of your relationship. This is the kind of information we have to understand when we try to compare homosexual relationships with heterosexual relationships. Sure, there may be promiscuity sometimes or outside sexual relations in marriage, but the numbers are incomparable. We see it as a search for maleness. And this is exactly the problem. Because when I get to know a man, see the perennial gay fantasy, is I'm going to find a totally masculine guy, a man who's totally secure in his masculinity, who's going to want to have sex with me. Of course, if he's going to have sex with you, he's got the same problem you do. He's insecure about his own masculinity. I remember one man saying, my body gets in the way of my happiness. I said, what do you mean your body gets in the way of your happiness? He says, because I want a real man, but a real man doesn't want me. A real man wants a woman. And that's precisely the predicament, which no amount of political rhetoric can overcome. Promiscuity is characterized by the gay life and short-term relationships. I remember, I guess there's a gay cable TV station because one of my clients said, I was watching it one night and two gay men were talking about the third gay man, one other man, and one gay man said to the other, I was so attracted to him, I either had to be him or have him. And that's exactly the predicament. I want to be him. I don't know how to be him, so I have to have him. Homosexuality is really based in envy, envying the other man's masculinity. And this is why Christianity and all religious traditions, all the great religious traditions, and all cultures have rejected homosexuality, because it's based in envy. It's not compatible. Andrew Sullivan, who is a gay activist, himself said, at the end of a gay man's life, he has two kinds of relationships: those he has friendships with and those he has sex with. They're incompatible, because the mysterious element of the strange guy is what keeps the action, the excitement going. At the end, we talk about the action steps that we can take in terms of identifying at-risk children to help others. And I'll talk more about this in my other presentation. Identifying at-risk children, adolescents, or young adults. To be concerned about boys who are showing signs of gender identity confusion, who are feeling lonely, feeling like they don't fit in, alienated from male peers, and most importantly, lacking close relationship with their fathers. Again, there's NARTH information in the back if you want. My final message to you is that many Christians are suspicious of psychology, and we should be suspicious of psychology because it's being twisted around for political reasons. But at the same time, we have to look at good psychology, and good psychology supports biblical teachings. After all, Dr. James Dobson himself is a psychologist. And psychology can give us the tools to help men and women to accomplish their goals, the goals that they want for themselves. And good psychology teaches us to understand what homosexuality is. One young man came to me, and in his first session, in introducing himself to me, he said to me very, very simply, "I just want my God-intended life back." And that's simply what we try to do. Thank you very much for listening.